Hey friends, welcome back to Go On Overland. Guys, in this one we're going to be doing a DIY Saran Wrap skirting on my 2020 Jayco. Friends, we're over here in Alamosa, Colorado. Right now we have this thing winterized, but it's getting down into the 20s Fahrenheit, so obviously that's below freezing. We're headed over to Grand Junction, Colorado for about 2.5 weeks, and so obviously we need to protect this thing. It's an awesome rig, and I'm going to show you guys how we're going to be doing the DIY setup. I'm building some of it now, then we'll drive over to Grand Junction and I'll take you guys through how it's going to look. So friends, this camper is equipped with the thermal package by Jayco. Now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that and how that's not going to quite protect us in our situation. But here's the Saran Wrap that we're going to be going all the way around this rig probably 100 times. I got a couple other older things of Saran Wrap that we'll start with, and then we'll finish off with this guy. Let me show you over here how we're going to be setting it up. So I went ahead and got my first one laid out. I still got to build 4 more of these, but guys, this is basically as simple as you can get. I keep a bunch of 2x4s on hand, so I have obviously some older ones, and this is why when you tear down a building or something, don't haul that stuff to the dump. I mean, it needs to live a second life. You don't need these things to be up to code for something like this or building your doghouse. So at any rate, I just rigged this in my mind real quick, and that's gonna go on all 4 corners. And then I have this mega screw here. I'll just put a screw in there just because I like to overdo things. And then we're gonna be hitting it with the Saran Wrap time and time again. Now the reason that this isn't gonna work for our situation with the thermal package is that that's really designed to have the furnace running full time. Now when we're plugged into electricity, we've already got it paid for the month. We like to run a little space heater in here. We might be kicking the furnace on and off from time to time, but essentially in the underbelly, that's where all the water tank is, the holding for the fresh water. That's where all of our pipes are, but they also have the heat ducting going through there. So as you're running the furnace, it's actually going to be keeping those pipes at a good temperature. But friends, with this camper, was given to us, it's a blessing. If not, we would have bought it. It's a huge investment, so we want to protect it. But guys, we're not going to get out the insulation and do a whole build because we're only there 2.5 weeks. So I can't wait to see how this performs. So at any rate, I'm going to build a couple more of these wood little L brackets, and then we'll take the trip to Grand Junction. I forgot to mention one quick thing. Guys, we're going to be pumping heat under the whole underbelly. So not only are we Saran Wrapping it, but we want to pump some heat in there. So for that, we have this VVOR Chinese diesel heater. It just attaches to a little 12-volt battery. If you guys watch, we have lithium ion batteries underneath there, but we still kept some of the lead acid batteries. I'm going to be wiring this to the lead acid battery. We have a diesel tank here that'll run all night long. And then this guy has a tube. We're going to make a port for it, probably up on the driver's side front. And we're just gonna pump heat all the way under the underbelly. I can't wait to see how warm the camper might be just from that, but I can pretty much guarantee this guy is gonna keep all the underbelly, maybe not hot and toasty. I think it's gonna take off that edge of that cold weather coming in there, and I really think it's gonna keep everything under there safe. Again, time will tell. All right, friends, check it out. We are in here in my father-in-law's shop, and how good is this place? I have everything a guy could possibly want. And there's all kinds of saws in here. This is what we're using today. That's pretty much all we're using. So check it out. I got this wood on a cleanup and hauling job back in the day. A roof blew off and it was all over the highway, plugging up the interstate. I got paid to go clean up all this metal. I made a fence out of it, and now I have this wood. Most of them were a lot better than this, but see, I'm going to be cutting out that metal, that middle section there. So I already got these made. These are the uprights right here. So I got 4 of those made at the height I wanted. I think they were 30 inches. This is 2 foot here, and I don't know how long that guy was, but there's really not much to it, friends. We're only making 2 basic cuts on here. Wanted to make sure they had good ends on each end. And then this guy, just a 45, couple of 45s. I wanted the pressure on this thing to be pushing that way. I was going to put this underneath that guy, but I just still wanted the pressure there because we're going to be putting a screw down in there if there's any pressure. I mean, we're not going to be stretching it crazy tight or anything like that. And just a screw coming down here, and then I'll show you the same basic deal. We got one screw coming into this side. That's the 2-foot section. So friends, these had a couple nails in them, so we'll just get those out real quick. Again, this is why I'm such a proponent of keeping all this old wood, because it can just serve you over and over again. But I'm going to keep hard at it over here, just pounding these out, guys. We'll catch up with you over in Grand Junction. Well friends, just like I was saying, here we are over in Grand Junction. Now, you're not seeing the mesas behind me, but that's I-70 business. I'm gonna spin around and show you the Jayco. So friends, we're gonna get hard on this project and start showing you guys kind of my DIY Saran Wrap little protection for the 2.5 weeks that we're here in the winter time. So here's all the products that we're gonna be using. Of course, here's the guys that I built. You can see the first one there. There's the Saran Wrap. Here's the little port for the diesel heater, and then we're gonna run a little bit of this weather pipe heat cable. I'll go ahead and drop a link to what we bought in the description, and then a little bit of this I'll show you. We're gonna do a couple lines just real quick, and then we'll be Saran wrapping it. All right, friends, I'm hanging out under the black tank, so this is, you know, there's better places to be, but I got this heat tape ran all the way down this guy. So we're gonna have the black tank closed, but then you open it to flush it out. It's gonna come all the way under the camper, and it actually will be under all this area that should be a little bit warm, obviously. We're gonna have the heater going here, but this, even though we got the heat, I just wanted to make sure it's not gonna be freezing up down in there. So we got the extension cord ran here. We're gonna run this separate from the camper over to a power pole over there, so it'll be on its own little breaker too. I'm outside there now, and you can see the little extension cord, and I got it running up to that pole. I could unplug it during the day and just have it at night if I want. What we're gonna do here with this stuff here, I just wanna wrap these lines. Again, this is gonna be inside the little barrier, but I want these guys to be protected a little bit extra. So we're gonna do these, and then there's a low point drain right over there that we're gonna wrap up as well. So I didn't need very much. There's that low point drain. Got a bunch of that roll left. Trying to think last minute if there's anything I can use it for, but we got that guy. Now friends, I found this piece of wood here, so I'm gonna be putting that up here. I put this metal because it's impossible to heat the ground, so hopefully that'll insulate. And see, the heater's right there. Shoot some of this heat back up at the camper. We got a couple boards lying around like this that we might be working in, just because why not. See, we have a big old 50 amp pole right here with our adapter to 30 amp. And then you got a bunch of little ports here. So that's the black gray water flush out. And again, I have one of these things here. So I found this wood. That's where the heat's gonna be coming back, and I want it to settle and not go out. You might see me grab this piece of wood here and tuck it up in the camper. Alright friends, so I gotta tell you, I am less than impressed. We got gaps out the wazoo. You get an idea in your head, and honestly, just seeing it come to, it has a lot of work. So we're just trying to avoid taping everything, but I don't want to lose all the heat that we have. So we're gonna come along and try to get stuff like this tucked in a little bit. We might have to get the tape out. See, we gotta be careful not to get the Saran Wrap by our exhaust. But honestly, friends, I gotta tell you, I am less than impressed. You know what? We're really gonna be testing out this thermal package here. We're gonna do some more work, friends. We got another roll, but the sun is going down over here in Grand Junction, and one of the things I want to do is get this heater on. So I got a little battery here. If you watch back, we have lead acid here. We got lithium ion in there, and we got the battery charger, and we have the diesel heater hooked up here. So we got the little trickle charge doing its thing, and I'm gonna come around here and turn this guy on.
Start heating.
So that thing's gonna slowly come on. We're gonna route the exhaust over here so we don't catch the whole field on fire. And I'm gonna end up shoving this guy in a little closer. See, I have this little makeshift deal here that was meant to hold that up. At any rate, I'm gonna do a little bit of work here and then I'll circle back with y'all. Found some more boards, so I am putting those along here, and they're gonna help fill in some of those cracks, and then we'll get some more Saran Wrap and tape and see what we can get done. And friends, I apologize for all that road noise. I hope you're still hanging with me, but check it out. This little guy, you can hear that tick. So that guy is gonna start pumping heat in there. And guys, we're gonna check it out. I got my work cut out for me. So I'm just gonna start filling in little cracks everywhere I can. Let me know in the comments, what do y'all think of the DIY Saran Wrap camper surround? Now friends, I'm gonna go ahead and say right off the bat that I'm not recommending this for y'all. I did the work for you. I did the homework. I tried it out, I tested it. This is real world testing, and I gotta tell you, I'm not super impressed, but hey, you win some, you lose some, and we're gonna press on. We're gonna fill all these cracks and see what we can do there. But friends, this is the kind of stuff we're doing over here at Go on Overland. Got some fun stuff coming up. I think it's gonna be the next video is gonna rock y'all world. So be sure and subscribe. If you don't know where to subscribe, right there, Go on Overland, guys. Check us out. Until the next video, guys, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May he cause his face to shine upon you, look upon you with favor, and give you peace. That peace that surpasses all understanding. That peace that even when you're having maybe not the day you planned, that God's just gonna love on you and give you peace. So friends, I'll kind of update you on Instagram and stuff like that. Let you know how this is doing, but definitely answer any questions if you guys have any. Until the next video, guys, God bless, get up, and go on.